Hi, this is Barbara Russell. I want to talk to you today about a success principle called grow thick, armor-plated skin. If you're going to be successful, you need to have thick skin, let me tell you. But as you can imagine, that might be easier said than done, because it is so easy to let what others say affect us, as evidenced by an email that I received recently. Let me read what this writer said. Dear Barbara, I have just received a revelation of why I get depressed, and it is thrilling. While my intellect is at the graduate college level, my ability to withstand offense is very childish. Wow. Now that says it all. The writer goes on to talk about how no one would know you put on a happy face, but inside all of the depression is there because of being offended. Well, she is not alone, because John Bevere has even written a whole book called The Bait of Satan, Living Free from the Deadly Trap of Offenses. People get so offended and they hold on to that, and it indeed can cause them to be angry and to be depressed. So I want to share with you what I had to learn the hard way about how you handle offenses and how you grow thick, armor-plated skin. I remember the time when this happened. I was working at a clinic and there were two nurses down the hallway talking. They had their heads huddled together, and as I came near, they looked at me and then they stopped talking. Uh-oh, I thought that was not good. And then they walked away. Well, then I knew for sure they were talking about me, and it was not good. Because you see, I was the master of holding on to offenses and being hurt and worrying about that like a dog worries a bone, and sleeping, having problems, and staying up all night. And by the next day, I was a wreck and on my way to depression. Well, I decided to institute two rules that day that I want to share with you because it can help you as well when you are feeling offended. And the first one is, assume the best until you know the worst. Because if you go ahead and worry for nothing, you've wasted all of that energy, and you can get stressed out, and indeed you can get emotionally, spiritually, physically sick. Because you see, I found out those two nurses, they had been talking about a confidential family matter, and of course they didn't want me to hear about it. I didn't need to assume that they were talking about me. Most people don't anyway. So it's very important that you assume the best until you know the worst. And then my other rule was this: if I can't just let it go and say, I know that was all right, it wasn't about me, I can't let it go within 24 hours, I've got to take action. And that can be hard as well, but so helpful to say, hey, do you mind guys telling me if there was anything that I did that you were talking about? Hey, that can relieve your mind right there. There are so many things that we take on, and then we let Satan use us to be offended, when we can remember those two rules. Assume the best until you know the worst. And if you can't let it go within 24 hours, then you resolve to take some action. Because you know what? We all have a job to do on this earth, and you don't need to be offended and depressed. You need to feel good and confident and sure of yourself so that you can do the job that you have been intended to do. So this is Barbara Russell saying your success principle for today: grow thick, armor-plated skin.